Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of College Ball with J-Dog. I got a good one lined up for us today. I've got my updated SEC quarterback rankings, my updated SEC power rankings. I've got my updated college football top 12. There's a lot of movement in it, just like the AP and coaches poll. Sadly for me, a certain team I had to drop out of there. I'm heartbroken about. We're going to talk about Lane Kiffin basically saying Oklahoma still signs, but said it in a way that it don't sound like he's saying it. You know Lane Kiffin, he's a troll. He basically said Oklahoma's good because they still signs. We'll break that down. We're also going to go over is Mike Norvell on his way out of Florida State. FSU puts out a statement saying contrary, but it also seems like they're saying he probably is. So we'll talk about that. And I'm also going to address Volnation because I swear, some of our fans get on my ever-loving nerves, y'all. So y'all do that YouTube stuff. We'll get this video started. Hit that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like the content. Get in that comment section. Share with your buddies. Let's get into it, y'all. We're going to start off a little different this time. Usually I start with my team and quarterback rankings. We're going to start with my playoff rankings. The graphics not as good as it usually is, y'all. My laptop's trying to shit the bed on me. It don't want to charge. So I'm working with what I got right now. Y'all bear with me. At 12, I got USF, South Florida. I had Memphis there last week. They crapped the bed. So South Florida is your group of 5 team. Got Miami at 11. I thought about jumping Miami all the way out, but they have a favorable schedule ahead, so they'll probably still be in. So I'm trying kind of projecting as well with them. Number 10, I got Georgia Tech. I don't really think Georgia Tech should be that high based off the schedule they played. But somebody's got to get in from the ACC. I don't quite think it'll be 2 different teams. I think at the end of the day, only one of them get in, whether that's Georgia Tech or Miami. Not sure yet. I got Vandy at 9. The year 2025. If you'd have told me in 2005 that I'd be sitting here 20 years later, now Vandy ranked in my top 10, I'd have told you you're smoking crack. But yet, here we are. Vandy in the top 10. Coaches poll, AP poll. College Ball with J-Dog. College football playoff poll. It's wild times we live in, y'all. Number 8, I got Missouri. They got punished more from the coaches and the AP than they did for me for losing to Bama. I had them in here last week still. I still got them in there. Number 7, I got Ole Miss. Ole Miss lost to Georgia. I didn't drop them that far because of it. They played tough. They was up by 9 in the 4th. Yes, they fell apart, but I still really like Ole Miss. I'm not quite sure about their defense, but their offense is going to win on some games. Number 6, I got Oregon. Oregon's main tough games this year was Penn State, Indiana. They don't have Ohio State. They don't have Michigan. So their schedule is favorable the rest of the way. They'll probably go 11-1. It is what it is. We got to find a way to get people's schedules more comparable in the future. You got some teams, like Alabama, per se. Alabama played 4 of the top teams in the country back to back to back to back. And South Carolina didn't shit the bed this year. They'd be going on their 5th one. But South Carolina sucks this year. There's got to be a way to get Big Ten, ACC, and Big 12 some better competition. And Notre Dame. Notre Dame, if they want to stay independent, Notre Dame should be forced to have so many Power 4 teams on their schedule. It's been ranked within the last 4 to 5 years. So I'm not college football commissioner like Josh Pate, but there's got to be a way to fix some of the scheduling differentials. Number 5, I got Texas A&M. A&M, I dropped them a little bit. They did beat Arkansas. They've looked good this year. Their schedule gets tougher from here on out. I just dropped them based off their defense. I'm not sure about their defense still. But Texas A&M, really good team. Their first time being in the top 5. I think they said since 1995. Indiana at 4. I've not got them quite as high as the AP and the coaches do. I'm high on them, though. I just don't have them ranked as high. Got Georgia at 3. Bama at 2. Ohio State at 1. 1 and 2, self-explaining. They're the cream of the crop right now, them in Indiana. Georgia at 3. I watch Georgia every week. I see them figuring it out. Just a little more. I think they'll get there. Hopefully I get through this video without my laptop shutting down, y'all. The battery kicked the bucket. I'm trying. I'm going to probably have to get a new laptop. So hopefully we make it through this, y'all. Just bear with me. Let's do our comparison to last week and see what kind of movement I got, y'all. So at 12, I had Memphis last week. I said I would put USF there, but until Memphis loses, they're the favorites, so I'm going to keep them there. So we got South Florida in at 12. Got Miami dropping from 2 to 11. Loss against Louisville. Got Oregon last week at 11. They jumped all the way to 6. They put the absolute beat down on Rutgers. Georgia Tech at 10. They wasn't in last week. They're in now. Vandy at 9. They wasn't in last week. They jumped in. Missouri at 8. I jumped them 2 spots. Yes, they didn't look very good against Auburn. But Georgia didn't look good against Auburn either. At Auburn. But both teams come out to win. On the road in the SEC, that's all you can ask for. Number 7, Ole Miss. I only dropped them 1 spot. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about these rankings in the comments. Number 6, Oregon. I done went over them. Number 5, A&M. I dropped them 2 spots. Wasn't necessarily because of anything they did. Yes, they had a very close game with Arkansas. It was more about what the other team's done, how I felt about it. Indiana stays at 4. Georgia jumps from 9 to 3 after beating Ole Miss. Bama's at 2. They was at 5 last week. And like I say every time, Ohio State will be number 1 until they lose. It is what it is, y'all. I hate it, but they're the defending champs. They ain't lost. They can't drop from number 1. That's my opinion on it. We'll jump into the team rankings now, y'all. 16, I got South Carolina. Kentucky's been my bottom team. Every week I've done these, South Carolina takes the cake, man. South Carolina's getting their ass whooped by everybody. It is what it is. They did beat Kentucky. But besides that, everybody they played has beat their ass. And Kentucky, when Kentucky's at home, Kentucky's gave Ole Miss a good game and had Texas beat. So I moved Kentucky up 15. We got Arkansas at 14. Mississippi State at 13. Mississippi State came a damn hair on your ass away from beating Florida, at Florida. We got 12 Auburn, 11 Florida, 10 Texas, 9 LSU, 8 Oklahoma, 7 Tennessee, 6 Missouri, 5 Vandy, 4 Ole Miss, 3 A&M, 2 Georgia, 1 Bama. There's a lot of movement in these two, y'all. It's a week-to-week thing. Let's compare to last week. I wasn't happy to drop my balls, y'all, but I got to keep it 100 with y'all. I got to be unbiased when I do this, or else y'all ain't going to give me any credibility. So I'm as unbiased as I can be. Tennessee dropped from 3 to 7. Even though we really played neck and neck with Bama, that pick six and safety, which I get are two plays. It happens. It's football. But that pick six especially. 14-point swing killed us, but we lost on the road. I punished us for it, sadly. So like I said, Kentucky jumped up a spot. I dropped South Carolina from 11 to 16. I kept waiting on South Carolina to finally look good. It was Cocktober. It's when they always get hot. I see nothing. Every time I watch South Carolina, I see nothing that tells me that they're going to improve at all this year. Every week, it's the same thing. They look absolutely terrible. Their offensive line's terrible. Lenore Sellers running for his life, and their defense is terrible. Last year, their defense was really good. They could win a close game if Lenore Sellers was struggling. This year's not the case. Their defense is terrible. Dylan Stewart's regressed. And their offensive line is possibly the worst in the conference. I think Beamer's seat's about to get hot. They got Alabama this week. They got a tough schedule ahead. Still got Clemson. Maybe the Clemson game can save his job if they can beat them because they're not being good this year either. I don't know. 15 Kentucky, that's just based off not necessarily them getting wins, but at least when they play at home, they're competitive. South Carolina has not been. They beat Kentucky at home, but everybody else that's traveled there has beat their ass. That was worth their salt. That was worth any salt. I mean, let's be honest. 14, I got Arkansas. They jumped one spot. 13, Mississippi State. They stayed the same. I got Auburn 12. They stayed the same. That town on Auburn's roster, man, y'all, Hugh Freeze should be put in jail for wasting all that talent. I mean, y'all maybe not win a national title with it, but damn, 8-9 wins shouldn't be hard to do with the talent he has on that roster, y'all. Number 11, I got Florida. Compared to all the other teams down here, Florida looked better this week, I guess. I don't know. 10, Texas, they fell a spot. LSU at 9, they fell a spot. 8, Oklahoma. Oklahoma jumped 2 spots. 7, Tennessee. We fell 4. I done went over that. Missouri 6, they stayed the same. Vandy at 5, they jumped 2 spots. Ole Miss stayed the same. Texas A&M went from 1 to 3. And that has nothing to do with Texas A&M. It's just how impressed I've been with Bama the last few weeks. I moved Bama up to 2 last week, moved them up to 1 this week. Georgia at 2. Georgia every week's looking better and better. Y'all let me know y'all's power rankings in the comment if you want to. I said, sorry I didn't get to get a good graphic for these, y'all. My computer is shit in the bed. I've got to get a new one. I'm just hoping to make it through today's video while I figure it out. Well, I'm still bringing you content. Let's go to the quarterback rankings, y'all, and then we'll get to Lane Kiffin and Mike Norvell situation. Quarterback, we've got Cutter Bowley, dead last. Calzada was last. Cutter Bowley's been last. It is what it is. Jackson Arnold, 15. He don't turn the ball over. That's the only reason he's 15th, because he's got the worst QBR in the conference, y'all. 14, Arch. Arch had a good week. Back to his old self. Lenore Sellers at 13. Shapin at 12. Lagway at 11. Nussmeyer 10. Pabula 9. Natir 8. Shambler 7. Taylor Green 6, Gunner Stockton 5, Joey Dimes 4, Pavia 3, Marcel Reed 2, Ty Simpson 1. I had to drop my boy Joey Dimes a couple spots. He played really good against Bama besides that pick 6. I got to punish him for it as much as I didn't want to. So here's last week's on the left, this week's on the right. The bottom 2 stayed the same. Cutter Boley, Jackson Arnold. Arch dropped from 10 to 14. I saw some problems against Texas. And this week against Kentucky, that all went away. The North Sellers dropped from 11 to 13. Blake Shapen jumped from 14 to 12. Lagway from 13 to 11. Nussmeyer jumped 2 spots from 12 to 10. Pabula dropped 2 spots from 7 to 9. Mateer jumped 1 spot to 8. Trinidad Shambliss fell 1 spot. Taylor Green, he fell 1 spot. Taylor Green, y'all, I say it every video. Taylor Green, if he's on Bama or Georgia or Tennessee, he'd probably be the front runner for Heisman. That's how good that kid is. He's just on a terrible Arkansas team. 5, Gunner Stockton. He rose 3 spots. He put on a hell of a show against Ole Miss, y'all. Joey Dimes fell 2. Pavia jumped 1. Marcel Reed jumped 1. Top dog, Ty Simpson, stayed the same. He looked really good against Tennessee. He had a couple of bad plays. He had fumble, a couple of bad passes we didn't take advantage of. But all in all, throughout the season, Ty Simpson's been, besides the Florida State game, Ty Simpson has been the best quarterback in the conference. I think still body of work, Aguilar's number 2, but I dropped him to 4 because that pick 6 broke my damn heart, y'all. Anyway, let's move on to Lane Kiffin's, what he said about Oklahoma. Ole Miss head coach Lane Kiffin has suggested that Oklahoma's defense is highly adept at deciphering opponents' signals through extensive film study and preparation, a tactic he called a phenomenal prep and very abnormal. After 2 teams' upcoming game on Saturday, he did not directly accuse Oklahoma of illegal sign stealing, but referenced the Oklahoma-Auburn game as an example of Oklahoma's defense anticipating plays. Oklahoma's coach Brent Venables responded by calling Kiffin's comments a compliment on his team's preparation, saying, I guess coming from Kiffin, I take it as a compliment, like he must have watched their guys be really prepared. I don't think Venables like that. And I think Lane Kiffin, you know Lane Kiffin, he's the biggest troll in college football. I think he's accusing him of sign stealing. Because apparently against Auburn, every time Auburn would make a change, Oklahoma would get right in the exact formation. Not Oklahoma, South Carolina. Every time any team makes a change against Oklahoma, apparently they get right in the right formation. And apparently on game tape and all that, you don't see all that. Now, I don't think Oklahoma steals signals, because if they did, the way they've struggled the last few years, they'd be bad at it. Is Lane Kiffin just trying to stir the pot? I don't know. Does he really think it? Probably. In Oklahoma, that's been the one strong point of their team is their defense, besides Venables' first year. Oklahoma has yet to score. Maybe last week they did, but I seen a stat that they've yet to score more than 2 offensive touchdowns in one game since they joined the SEC. They have a freaking gauntlet coming up, y'all. Their spot in the playoff is not safe. Them having winning more than 7 or 8 games is possibly not safe. They got it rough coming up. Mateer looked better last week against South Carolina. Everybody's looked good against South Carolina. That's worth anything. They go to South Carolina comes to them, they look good. So That's not saying much. I can't get the Texas game out of my head with material. Y'all let me know in the comment section. You think Lane Kiffin's just stirring the pot, being a troll? Or do you think he was backdoor accusing them of illegal sign steal? Because if anybody would do it out loud to the media, it'd be Kiffin, and Kiffin wouldn't give a damn if he pissed Venables off or not, because that's who Kiffin is. So do y'all think Kiffin was really just complimenting him, or do you think he was in a backhanded way saying, yeah, we know you're cheating? Give me y'all's opinion in the comments. I'm interested to know. I seen that and I said, Lord, Lane Kiffin don't ever fail to stir the pot, does he? Do you think Lane Kiffin's going to Florida? That's another one. Y'all think Lane Kiffin leaves Ole Miss and goes to Florida? Because I think it's not as high of a chance as a lot of other people do. Let's read the statement from Florida State, y'all. Florida State football benefits from unmatched, passionate support from the entire FSU family. And the commitment to our football program is unwavering. We rightfully have high expectations in everything we do to represent Florida State in the manner that built our reputation as one of the college football's best programs, cultivating an extraordinary group of supporters nationally and globally. We embrace those expectations while also sharing the deep disappointment when the results on the field are short of that standard. As we continue to move forward this season, our comprehensive assessment of the football program will be completed at season's end. Meanwhile, we are fully committed to helping Coach Norvell and the 2025 Seminoles strongly rebound in the coming weeks. What do y'all think that sounds like? To me, it sounds like after the last game of the season, Mike Norvell shit canned. That's what it sounds like to me. Sounds like they're just going to wait till the end of the year. Maybe his buyout's a little lower then. Maybe they going to talk to the players, try to see what they can do to get them to stay. Maybe they like Malzahn. I don't know. But that statement tells me that unless Mike Norvell wins out, he doesn't have a job next year. Even if he does win out, should he have a job? He's had one, maybe two good seasons there, and this is year 6. If they lose 2 more games, this will be his 4th out of his 4 out of 6 years he's been there with the 500 record or worse. I think he struck lightning in the bottle with the team a couple years ago. Not recruiting high school. I don't think that's the route to go, y'all. I think you recruit high school as good as you can, and if you miss on a guy or don't hit on a guy, you use the portal to supplement a couple of positions. I think that's the best way to build. Obviously, there's exceptions to every rule, but all in all, the best teams year in and year out are the ones that recruit well and hit the portal for, say, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 guys that are really 5 to 10 really good guys that fit what they're trying to do. It seems like those are the best every year. There's exceptions. There's teams every year that hit the portal real hard and they're really good and they all come together and mesh well, but it's not the norm. It seems like still this day, high school recruiting is where you build your core of your team. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think high school recruiting is the core of a team, or do you think you can just bring in 20, 25 guys in the transfer portal every year and build a team like that? I feel like those teams that bring in 20, 30 portal guys a year, by the time they gel and get chemistry, the way the college game works, where you have so many hours you can practice in the summer period, fall camp's only 15 practices. If they come after the spring, it just takes too long for everybody to gel. And even if they end up gelling, it's usually too late. Like I said, I know there's exceptions. There's teams that's done it. But for the most part, high school recruiting is still a very big deal in college football. And Norvell has completely ignored high school recruiting. He goes to the portal, grabs a bunch of guys that were highly rated, maybe was on the bench, hadn't played, or maybe underachieved, brings them in, throws them together, and all but 2 years, it's completely less food on his face. I mean, he's sitting there, food on his face, looking around like, what happened? Man, we got all this talent. Talent don't win football games. Continuity. Gelling together as a team. Coaching. X's and O's. There's so much that goes into a team winning football games that's not talent. Obviously, talent helps. If you are the best coach team in the world, but you ain't got no talent, you're probably going to get beat a lot of times by teams with more talent than you. But for the majority of it, a talented team still has to have a good coach. They still have to get along. They have to mesh well together. They got to do all that. There's so much besides talent that wins football games. And I'm not sure Norvell has it outside of bringing in talent. Because Florida State brings in talent. Yes, it's mostly through the portal. But it's like he can't get the right pieces to do what he's trying to do. It's like maybe he's just bringing in guys because of how talented they are instead of guys that fit their system. Maybe. I don't know. It looked like they went 13-0, missed the playoffs, and since then, they're 2-10 last year. This year, they started off with the win against Bama, and then they've lost 4 games in a row now. They just lost Stanford. Stanford ain't beat nobody worth anything this year. They lost to Hawaii first game of the year. Pretty sure they lost San Jose State too. You can't even muster up more than 13 points against Stanford. Malzahn too. Malzahn, it seems like his offense, when he goes somewhere, his offense first game or two really clicks, boom, 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 boom. And then once teams get some tape on it, there's no adjustments and they start slowing them down. It's like Malzahn perfectly knows how to use his team from the start of the season, but he can't adjust on the fly. After a couple of weeks, once teams get tape on them, they figure it out. Malzahn just keeps trying to do the same thing, like beating his head against the wall, but the wall is concrete and you're not going to bust your head through it. So y'all let me know your opinions on the Florida State situation, because it's kind of mind-blowing. I never was high on Norvell anyway. When Alabama went after him and he turned him down, I was disappointed. Because I'd much rather Alabama hired Norvell than Kalen DeBoer. Because Kalen DeBoer won everywhere he went. Norvell has had losing seasons at Florida State besides them 2 years. I don't know. If y'all are a Florida State fan, you watch this, let me know what you think the problem is at Florida State with Norvell. Do you think it's him? Do you think it's stuff that we don't hear about behind the scenes? You think their NIL's not putting out enough money? What is it? They bring in talent, so they got to have a good NIL. I just really think he needs to bring in like 15 to 20 high school guys a year and then go get 10 or 15 from the portal. Because they're going to getting guys that are juniors and seniors that just come in there for a year and leave, and then they're replacing them. They're not building anything from the ground up. That's my opinion. Last but not least, y'all, I want to address Volnation. I think we have the best fans in the world. I swear I do. But there's about a 5 to 7% of our fans that are absolutely the worst fans in all college football. There's a reason every other team hates our fans. And it's that small majority, small minority, about 5 to 7% that make themselves heard on the internet, make themselves heard everywhere, that say stupid shit just to get attention. Like I've been saying all over, Heupel's peaked. It's year 5. And if he has peaked, so 10, 11 win seasons compared to what? 5-7, 3-7 under Pruitt's last year, 4-8 under Butch. Even if Heupel has peaked, it's better than anything we've seen the last 15 damn years. We lost the game on the road where the quarterback made a bad decision. Everybody's putting that on Heupel. Yeah, maybe he should have caught a run. I thought he should have caught a run. But your quarterback could also throw it out of the back of the end zone since he had nobody open, and we still kick a field goal or run one more play. Winning on the road in the SEC is hard too, by the way. Very hard. McCoy not coming back has hurt our defense. Ricky Gibson going down right after. That's All-American corner. And our first team All-SEC preseason corner that you don't have, that you had to throw a freshman in for one of. This team does have its flaws. I see improvement every week besides last week. And even last week, just go look at the stats. This team was neck and neck with Bama. Them two plays, the safety and the pick six. The pick six was a 14-point swing and a 17-point loss, y'all. In the words of Aaron Rodgers, RELAX. Relax. We still got everything out in front of us. Our two hardest games left on the schedule are both at home. We get Oklahoma in Knoxville. We get Vandy in Knoxville. We travel to Kentucky Saturday. We travel to the Swamp. The Swamp concerns me this Saturday. Obviously, I'm worried every Saturday. Because going on the road in the SEC is hard. Look, Texas just barely won at Kentucky last week. Ole Miss only won by 7 there. Winning on the SEC is the toughest damn thing they are. Yes, Heupel's record on the road is not the greatest, but guess what? Since he's been coach at Tennessee, the only coach better on the road in the SEC is Kirby Smart. Think about that. At home, he's lost to, in the last 4 years, he's lost to Georgia twice. That's it. Nobody else has come to Knoxville and got a win. This year, Georgia shouldn't have left as one, but they did. It's football. So Volnation needs to chill out. Let the rest of the season play out. There's people yelling, oh, we're going to have 4 or 5, 6 losses. Hell, we might. I hate losing to Alabama as much as the next person. I probably hate it more than you. I'm so dedicated to this crap, I do a show on it every day. It's mostly just losers. People that are losers. They need attention. They get no attention. They're losers in life. So they get on the internet and talk crazy shit to get people to react. Well, I'm giving you a reaction. To the 95, 93% of our nation that knows things take time. Heupel's built it from the ground up. We're still in a good spot. I love y'all. I even love the idiots. But Lord, quit making our fan base look so damn stupid. You seen how bad it could be. We said the same thing with Fulmer. Oh, okay. We can fire Fulmer and hire anybody and we'll be good. Yeah, we learned that real quick, didn't we? And the Tony Vitello situation. Y'all, I love Tony. I hope he stays. Hell, he might have done announced something by the time I get done with this video. But apparently he's mad that Danny White took some of his NIL money and gave it to women's basketball. I say I love Tony. If he leaves, I absolutely hate it. He's the one who said, you're either a ball or you're not, through thick and thin. Well, it might be a little thick right now. He might have lost a little bit of his NIL money to the women's basketball team. And I hate to say this, but guess what? Baseball loses money, y'all. We lose money funding the baseball team. I love the baseball team. I love Coach Tony Vitello. Women's basketball. They're one of the few women's basketball teams in the country that are profitable when they're good. They brought in number 1 portal class, number 2 high school class. I hate it for Tony. I'm sure they're working something out. But unfortunately in this world, Danny White's here to make us money. Hopefully Tony stays. Hopefully him and Danny figure something out. Tony gets a good amount of money. Women's basketball keeps a good amount of money. Pat Summitt deserves to watch our Lady Vols in heaven be good. That's how I feel. Lady Vols were the damn best of the best. Pat Summitt built the Lady Vols program, made women's basketball what it was. In my opinion, the Lady Vols basketball program deserves to be at the top again. Pat deserves to watch her legacy be good. And that's just my opinion. I personally, I hate to say it, it's not pissing people off, not ruffle some feathers. I would rather women's basketball be good than baseball. Pat deserves it. That's just my opinion. We're everything school. Softball, baseball, women's basketball, men's basketball, football. At some point, somebody's going to have to lose a little bit of money and find another way around. That's what the revenue sharing has done to the sport, y'all. That's why they're in Congress trying to figure something out, because it's going to kill off a lot of sports. It's sad. Obviously, our baseball team's not going to be one of them, but row and track and field, stuff like that, y'all, the revenue sharing will kill those sports. So if you really care about baseball, you really care about all those sports, there's a website you can go to and do something about it to save those sports. Because NIL and revenue sharing is going to kill them, y'all. That's it for today. Y'all do that YouTube stuff on the way out the door. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you like the content. Get in the comment section. Appreciate y'all tuning in. God bless you. Go Vols.